Hey everybody, my name is Andy Bishop. I'm going to show some of the new features in RIPR2. So first of all, let me just give you a quick rundown of the major changes. Obviously it's been substantially more optimized, it's faster and so on. Actually, large portions of it have been rewritten really from the ground up just to get more speed out of it. So it can now handle mesh-based area lighting. So if you want to put an object in and have that illuminate the scene, you can do that. So any polygon, be it an actual model or just a single, cubed polygon or whatever. Normal map integration is now included. So if you've got an object like a little piece of engineering with normal maps, it's going to make that work and render inside RIPR. Would recommend though big engines and big objects are obviously going to chew up the memory, and so unless you've got a very good graphic card, that's going to be harder to do. You've got AI-powered temporal denoising, so that's sped up the AA substantially and improved it massively, mainly for rendered output, but we'll show you a bit of that at the end of the demo. And then we've got interactive material editing, so you can adjust materials on the fly and mess with those. And again, I'll show you a bit of that a little later on another scene. And then there's it's obviously fully supporting BSDF and is obviously very heavily optimized for that. You can also do two views at once. So let's just take you through this and show it to you. So first of all, let's just turn on the RIPR. There's our RIPR, and then we can just play our animation. And you can see that's playing back really fast. Obviously a bit of shimmer on the screen, but you can get rid of that when you save out frames. But it does give you a really good way of interactively rubbing through it, any way you wish. So that's the basics of it. Let's show you the actual interface. So the interface hasn't changed very much, but you've got obviously previewing, and you can choose to up the quality of that, and basically when that renders, obviously that's effectively doing 2 times the resolution. 1 is fine, so all good, excellent. It takes the resolution here from your camera. So if your camera is set to 1280 or 1920, it will take that resolution from the camera and automatically work with it. For rendering output, it then becomes highlighted what resolution that's going to render out at, and obviously you can save out as EXR, PNG and JPEG. I'd recommend EXR because obviously the color depth and so on is so much better. You can choose where you render it to and a subfolder, etc. And it shows at the bottom here the amount of memory that's been used, and how much memory is still available to you and so on. Playback wise, you have the ability to again write out to a folder, run playback, but also do individual screen grabs if that's what you want. You can grab them out as, again, EXR, PNG and JPEG. And on the environment, you can have obviously just load up your HDR image to do your illumination, and you obviously can have that visible or not visible. I've actually got a poly in the background so you won't see it, and you can obviously up the intensity of that. So if I just do that, you can see, basically you can adjust that and you can rotate it and do whatever you want to do with it. You can also animate that rotation and adjust it as you can with the HDR. So, excellent, for capability of putting your play blast together or whatever the case may be. So that's your basic RIPR interface. What we also have the ability to do, let me just go over here. I'm going to change the viewport to a split viewport, and let me just drag that back. I'm going to change that to a perspective view and just drag it a bit. So you can clearly see it's a different angle, but we also can turn RIPR on to that. So you've now got basically a multi-view. Now, obviously it will slow down, and if you shrink your screen down, that will make it run back faster. So if I push play, you'll see it sort of updates, but it sort of lags behind on one of them. So, but it again gives you the ability to see those views when you're animating both those views at once, and very quickly get a good indication of whether you've got an error on how far your character's leaning forward or whatever the case may be. So really easy and good, really flexible. The multi-view is again new, so that's going to help a lot. So if you're outputting this, and I'm going to do now a quick render out, basically what you do is again turn on this. Let's go to the render, choose your directory where you want to render to, so that's fine, test 1, and then basically choose how much anti-aliasing. So if I do 500, that will run at probably about a second a frame. 1000 will run at about 2 seconds a frame. This is on a 3080 graphic card, by the way. So if you've got a 40 or 50 series, it's going to be substantially faster. This is just a guide for a 3080. That's kind of the speed you're talking about. So if I just quickly push render, you'll see the update speed. So here 1 and 2. There we go. A little bit over a second, but pretty much a second a frame. And that now will be saving those frames to the hard drive. What I'll do is I'm not going to run this all the way through because obviously you don't want to sit here for 360 frames of calculation. I'll now stop this and then I'll show you that piece of animation and then show you the lights, the interactive luminous polys that you can use as well. Okay, so you've seen that first render. That's with anti-aliasing on, but about one and a bit seconds per frame. Really easy way of getting a high quality animatic out, and you can see the end quality is fantastic. So what we're got this time is I've got 4 objects here which are going to change sizes and move around the scene. I've animated those just to move around and go through things, etc. So you can see that rendering. But again, let's now show you the effect of that with RIPR on. So as we rub through, you can see it's illuminating the floor. You can see as it gets close to the sugar cube there, it's illuminating the sugar cube. And again, illuminating the logo, etc. And again, you can rub through that in real time. Why that's important is if you want to be able to do your animation and view it back as you adjust it and control it, this really gives you a very instant way of giving you a very good, accurate preview of how that's going to run. So I'm going to do the same thing with this now. I'm going to render this out so you can see a finished quality. That renders out about 2 to 3 seconds a frame. I'm going to run about 1,000 levels of anti-aliasing on it. And that's going to be, and the only reason I've upped the anti-aliasing, by the way, because the high luminosity tends to make it shimmer a little bit more. So I put 1,000 on it just to improve that. And obviously you can go even higher if that's what you wish. So I'll render that out now so you can see it, and then I'll be back for a third section. Okay, so our next bit. Let's so this is a scene I think we showed when we were first demoing RIPR a few years ago, and so this is a scene full of objects, and obviously you can rub through that and play through that as before. You can see the HDR in the background, and you can see that updating, etc. But I want to just take you through one of these surfaces and just show you that it's using an image map and all of that's correct. So if we go and just shrink these down, get rid of these. Yeah, that will do it. So here you can see there's an image map going into the color. Again, all working correctly on a UV map. Straight into the actual texture there. And again, just to show that working on multiple views, just so you can see it works with a more complicated scene. Let's put that again with, let's do it that way this time. And what we'll do on this one is we'll add, let's see, let's go to perspective, add the RIPR. There we go, there's our perspective view. And again, the same thing will apply, it will be depending on the graphic card speed. If you're clicking through it, it will update instantly. If you're playing, really, it will only just play, bit of it through, so on one screen, and then it will jump on the other one. But the point is, it's doing it. It's handling both views in real time and super fast, so that you can just check, floor placement, positions, etc. So that's RIPR2. It is substantially better. Just another thing to mention, it works perfectly with AP, and in fact was originally designed for use with AP. So AP we're going to be showing or on another demo video, which hopefully you'll get to see. But RIPR gives you the ability to preview AP stuff back in real time. And again, I'll run a video of that after this demo. And hope you like it. It's a major update to RIPR, and again will massively help you on previewing and running out animatics in full color, decent lighting, super fast. Thank you for your time. Bye.